I'm Mark Fernandez, and this is Franchising with Fernandez. Welcome to On the Couch with Fernandez. In these tough times, acquiring franchisees is not easy. Or is it? There are so many issues surrounding franchising right now, both economically and politically. We have selected 3 franchise businesses to talk to you about today, so that we can have different views and different opinions on what they are doing to select franchisees, look at is it actually harder today to get a franchisee on board, and what are they doing to attract franchisees. I encourage you to send me an email with your thoughts and questions a little bit later today. Now to meet my guests. My first guest represents one of Australia's most successful franchise, with over 50 different divisions and over 4,000 franchisees based in Australia and overseas. Yes, you guessed it, the Gyms Group. We are lucky enough to have here today the WA franchisor for gyms building inspections, termite and pest control. Please make welcome Manie Van Vuuren. Manie, welcome.
Thank you, Mark. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. My next guest is a lover of flame-grilled Portuguese chicken. Their first store opened in WA back in 2012, and they have almost 7 stores in WA and 150 nationally. Looking after both WA and South Australia, and someone who has more frequent flyer miles than Richard Branson, please make welcome the State Manager for Oporto, Michelle Draper.
Thanks,
Michelle.
Mark.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for
very
joining
much.
us. Great. My next guest represents a true WA iconic franchise brand. They commenced in 1997 and have over 35 franchise businesses in WA. They've had some tough times, yes, but they've reinvented themselves time and time again to stay ahead of the curve and are the industry leader in their group. They also make my favourite pie, the Ned Kelly. Yum. Please make welcome Jesters CEO Robert West. Robert, welcome.
Hey Mark, thanks. Great to join you.
Wonderful. Thanks for your time. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with Manie. Manie, talk to us about the typical franchisee that you're looking for. Describe what they need. Do they need some cash? Don't they? All those kind of things.
Yeah, do they need cash? Mark, yes, obviously you want them to have cash because to start a business is a challenge. In building inspections, you need a typical registered builder or experienced industry expert that has got some experience behind him, and you want to get off the tools. Have a quality of life, have a bit of family time, get out of the industry. And with pest control, it's a little bit different because we can actually train them from scratch. You don't need a licensed pest technician. We can make them licensed pest technicians. With building inspectors, we target areas where there's guys that's got years and years of experience and supervision. With pest technicians, we actually target technicians that's in the field and providing the service. But nevertheless, you can actually, if you want to start a pest technician business, we can train you all the way.
Great. And how much cash do I need to join you?
Mark, a pest technician, a Gyms Termite and Pest Control franchise costs only $15,000. It's the startup and the training that costs potentially another $15,000, and then you've got to set up your vehicle and your business. A building inspection franchise, obviously we talk about all the way from Broome all the way to Esperance, right around the country. So there's regional areas that's a lot more cheaper, but you talk anything from $39,000 to $59,000 and in per $69,000. That includes obviously a lot of training with building inspectors because we do train in complete residential building inspections, new construction, asbestos, meth testing. So it's quite a diverse area of expertise, and you can provide so many different services in the Gyms Group with Gyms building inspections.
Wonderful, great. Yeah. Rob, your turn. What are you looking for in a franchisee these days?
Yeah, look, I mean, Manie touched on quite a lot of those points, and there's clearly a lot of similarities within our business. Specifically, we look for people who are passionate about food. That certainly wouldn't go astray. Definitely some cash helps. I think alignment with the brand is probably, it's a very broad statement, but that's one of the key things that we look for. So that's someone who has the same sort of, drive and passion and motivators as we do as a brand and as a business. What we have found in the past that if you don't have clear alignment with stakeholders, and in this case we're talking about two clear stakeholders being franchisor or franchisee, then it never works. And I'm sure that pretty much every franchise out there can relate, to some extent, to that. So let me passion for food, as I say. One of the other biggest, I guess, requirements is for them to be prepared to roll their sleeves up, I guess, and get their hands dirty. Right. You do often find people think that they'll be able to buy a franchise, put it under management, and then sort of wait, sit back and count their cash thereafter. But our model doesn't operate like that. That's not to say some don't, but our model doesn't. It's very much an owner-operator, very hands-on model.
Right. So I can't just give you a check and, give you a check, we're all good to go, no?
No,
actually got to do some work?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's really interesting you say that, because I think, I've only relatively new in the franchising game, but I can definitely relate to the fact that in the past, not necessarily our business, but other businesses have operated on that basis. They are pretty happy to, for people to part with their cash, to clip the ticket along the way, and a lot of the other requirements, if you like, sort of play second fiddle. But no, it's not really a sustainable platform to work from. So that's what we sort of look for. Definitely. Someone who also values customer service, right. Because we obviously are dealing with different consumers, and they can be challenges. There's no doubt about that. Certainly, you have to have a passion for delivering exceptional customer service, operational standards, and those sorts of things. And look, in terms of the financing side of things, it varies quite considerably. You can get into a franchise, for a Jesters franchise, that is, for as little as $100,000, and it could take you up, if you're doing a new build, it could go as high as 300, even 350, depending on the square meterage you're converting and the infrastructure that's existing and so on. Typically, our franchises are around the $100,000 to $200,000 mark in terms of investment, and that allows for franchise fees, obviously all of the training that goes along with that. The fit outs and legal costs and working capital, etc. All those, everything in turnkey.
Right. Yeah. Wonderful. Great. Thank you for that. Welcome. Michelle, talk to me.
Yeah, definitely very similar priorities. It's definitely all about the attitude of the franchisee that's coming in. Sleeves must be rolled up. We've seen generally if a store has moved from being run under a manager to then under a franchisee, generally we see a sales lift of about 10%. Yes. Just from that franchisee getting in there and actively driving the business. I think the days of, walking into a store, opening the door and standing there and waiting for customers to come in have very much gone. Yes. And the ability and the want to get out and be the face of your business, engage with local sporting groups and community groups and schools, yes. And for us, it's about making your store kind of the hub or a community meeting place. From an investment perspective, we very much work on a return on investment we're aiming for around 4 years. We offer a 10-year franchise agreement. So for our franchisee, that gives them another 6 years to kind of take, I guess, the cream off the top of the cake. Yep.
Do you sell cakes?
Not yet. We've got these amazing Portuguese tarts.
Yes, for your dessert
menu.
menu.
I'm a custard lover. It's my one weakness that I just cannot say no to. Crunchy, flaky pastry with... it's amazing. So we do have a few different footprints. We do operate in some food courts. We have shop fronts, and we also have our bigger drive-through stores. So depending on what that footprint is the investment. But looking at that 4-year return, buying in anywhere from around $400,000, depending on the size of the store and the fit out. And then there are obviously fees. Training is a big one. Our training program runs there's 7 weeks in-store training, and then there's also some components which are operated in our training facility over in Sydney as well.
Yeah,
so,
wonderful,
yeah.
great. We're going to have to leave it there, guys, so wonderful. As you've heard from our guests today, it's not all doom and gloom about franchising. These 3 brands need to be commended for not only their innovation and continual thirst for excellence, but also their persistent views on obtaining franchisees. We've looked at 3 different franchise business models and a few variations to those. So which one is for you? Well, you need to consider different things, and you need to get expert advice. Not only do you need to get expert advice today, it's also very critical that you get the right experts around you to give you that right advice. And that's where we come in. If you need any help in selecting your franchise business, I encourage you to get in contact with us. We are here to help. Give me a call or drop me an email. I'm Mark Fernandez, and this has been Franchising with Fernandez.